Before Sega and Nintendo duked it out on the center stage, a series of events occurred over a decade in the making. Previously, I felt it unnecessary to address these events, but now I see the importance of opening the vaults of the history of the console wars.
It all began in 1966 with one man, Ralph Baer. A graduate of television engineering and inventor, Baer began building a prototype television accessory known as the Brown Box. The Brown Box prototype was a user-controlled entertainment add-on that would project object images through the television set in an attempt to simulate some sort of activity. Baer completed his prototype in 1968. In 1971, Magnavox purchased a license to the Brown Box, and thus, the Magnavox Odyssey was created.
With the Magnavox Odyssey, the world now had its first home video game system. This technology was revolutionary at the time and jump-started the video game industry. However, with success comes competition.
In 1972, Nolan Bushnell, fresh off producing Computer Space, one of the earliest arcade games ever made, partnered with Ted Dabney and founded Atari Incorporated. In 1972, Bushnell attended the Magnavox Profit Caravan in Burlingame, California, where he played an Odyssey demonstration, specifically the table tennis game. Bushnell felt it lacked quality, but it inspired Bushnell to assign Atari engineer Alan Alcorn with the project of building a simple game with one moving spot, two paddles, and digits for scorekeeping. This project would develop into the first Pong console, and in 1974, Atari released the first home Pong game system.
With the release of Atari's Pong console, the Magnavox Odyssey was no longer the only game in town. It appears the first home video game console now had its first competitor.
The differences between the Odyssey and the Pong console were subtle, but very relevant. For one, the Odyssey had no scoring system. Players would have to write down and tally scores. The Pong console had a built-in scoreboard. The Odyssey had no sound capabilities. The Pong console was capable of producing various high-pitched beeping sounds. The Odyssey had a variety of titles. The Pong console could play only one game. And most importantly was marketing. The Pong console was advertised that it can play on any television, whereas the Odyssey had built a stigma that it can only play on Magnavox televisions, something that wasn't true, a misconception Atari used to their full advantage.
What began as a television accessory fastly became a competitive market. Other companies began to take notice.
And with the technology used in both systems being fairly easy to replicate, the market soon became glutted with numerous clone consoles, to the point where consumers weren't even sure they were purchasing the correct console. All this came to a boil in 1977, when interest in Pong consoles and the various Odyssey models dwindled.
This disinterest would usher in the second generation of game consoles, as well as the golden age of arcade gaming. But that's a story best left told for another day. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.